Time to fuel your business success. Welcome to Harmonious at Lunch. We're bringing you bite-sized advice and expert conversations to drive clarity and growth 5 days a week. Make sure you join our Facebook group at humanop.com/lunch, where listeners like you and our guests hang out so we can find harmony in business together. If you're building a business, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
Welcome back into some more bite-sized business advice. In today's episode, one of my favorite types of episodes on this podcast. And we're going to hear about the entrepreneur's journey. We're going to hear our guest's story over the past 10 years, scaling a tech company, growing a lean company, and all the things that come with growing a company, the ups, the downs, everything in between. I have an amazing guest with me, Meeky Hwang. Welcome to the show, and thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I really do love these topics these episodes because I think it's not talked about enough in business. We hear the highlight reel, we hear all the things that worked, but there are some challenging moments in business, and 10 years in business is no small feat. So first and foremost, congratulations, because that's a huge milestone.
Yes.
Tell me about the beginning. Where did you start? Why go into business for yourself, and why create a tech startup of all things?
So it's interesting that I wish I had a grand plan to start the business, but it kind of happened for me accidentally, because my co-founder and I used to work together at a development agency. So they call it agency, but it's like a development consulting. So we're making building websites for digital media, and then other places that is on the enterprise level, places that needs any content management. So he was my boss's boss. And when he left, and I was also thinking about leaving, and he knew about it. And when I left, I had some downtime, so I was kind of freelancing with him, just kind of building different websites and different stuff. And with that, we're talking a lot about how to do this right, how to make it more efficient. Because over the course of years, because we worked together from the previous company about 6 years together, so we're there are a lot of things that we've seen that didn't work well and work well. And then I always a huge respect for him because he's a very technical person, and he knows how to be hands-on and building things too. And that always was a big thing that I realized that understanding to that degree is a huge benefit for the management level people and managing projects or building software or anything. So with that, when I was working with them, we're actually working very well. We have a very similar vision. The way we work is very similar. So we're kind of talking about why don't we start a company? So that's how we started. And fast forward to 10 years. And it's weird to say the 10 years, because it just felt like just yesterday we started. And there were different things, different challenges. And then even with the COVID, just random things that are controllable and uncontrollable with the clients and the building different things, and you get challenges with all these new things coming out. But it's been 10 years and we're still standing.
Yeah, it's incredible. I'm sure you know the stats. Our listeners know the stats of companies who make it past 1 year, let alone 10. So that's huge. And I'm curious, were you funded or were you self-funded in the beginning?
No, we're self-funded pretty much.
Self-funded, bootstrapped, lean.
Yeah, because we started when we started, he has some client base and I have some client base. So when the people we used to work with found out that we started our own company, they wanted to work with us. So I guess we did something right. So with that, we had some projects come in that we could just start right away. So that was kind of a lucky, and then it also was kind of a natural. So that also made me feel it didn't feel like I started a startup kind of thing. So it just felt very naturally flew to it, which was, we're kind of lucky in that way.
Did that cause any problems with your old company? Because I know in some cases there's non-competes, especially if you go start a competing company, you steal clients, like lawsuits, cease and desist letters, all of those fun things that come with running a business. Did you ever run into any of that?
I was cautious of it too. We just kind of reviewed it with the lawyer before we started and all. And then there are so the clients that we work with us was actually not directly working with the old companies. It's more they left to a different company and then they just wanted to work with us. And then there was one company, and I told them we have 6 months non-compete, so unfortunately we won't be able to work with you because they reached out directly to me to wanting to work right away. And it was interesting that that specific company reached out literally a week before the 6 months was over. And I was like, all right, it's coming up. Let's start drafting the proposal and everything. So like they ended up working with us right at the 6 months complete after.
That's funny.
So that did happen too.
I mean, it shows that you're doing something right if people wanted to leave and come work with you guys. So that's always interesting. As far as growing the company, though, in the beginning, so you have early traction, you have a little bit of success, you have clients that come follow you. What were some of the things that you did not foresee as challenges when you started your own company?
So I was lucky to have my co-founder because like he was managing the entire practice pretty much. So like he knew a lot more about like running a company and a bunch of things that you don't really realize when you're just like, because I was a management level, but I didn't really do more than the clients that I was handling. And then the projects that I was handling. So I had no idea there were like a lot more than just doing the work. And so I was so naive on that. So there was a lot of learning on that end, just like operation wise, like just like similar, like small things like, you know, how to effectively maintain SOPs, how to like do different, employees and how to manage them correctly, like all these other things that I did as like a process that was kind of given to me, but like it wasn't like I was making it more efficient. I was like doing like what's best way to do like the reviews for the employees or things like that, like the cadence of it. Is it too much? Is it not too much? But minimally what you should do as like a little things like that. Those little things, it was learning. It's kind of like just get to it and learn it pretty much. And then there's like a lot of financial stuff and there's like employee benefits stuff and all these other things that I did not think of were there pretty much. So those are pretty big learning. And then I think it was good that when we just started, we went to, because of his relationship with other owners, like a startup owners, we were invited to this owner camp. So we went there and then had some education, which was a huge help because like it kind of opened my eyes in the beginning, just like, oh, wow, I just did not even think of anything like that. So that was super beneficial. And the things that I learned from that owner camp in the beginning started to make sense as we go along. So that was like a huge thing. But then I was glad that they were there. And also the people I met from there, because we were obviously the newest company there at the time. And then I had some network that I created from there. We had a network that we created from there, and they're super up for helping the other company to kind of grow to their level. So like I will just kind of reach out to them and ask about like, what are the things that this kind of challenge, how would you kind of recommend things like that? And then even like we met a good CPA there, and then like they were not really taking anyone who was under like $1 million in revenue at the time. So like over the course of times, we're like, that kind of became a goal to get there so that we can hire them to work with them. So like there are different things that were working out because of that as well.
Yeah, it's so important to surround yourself with people who can get you to those next levels. I'm a huge believer in that. And I don't think enough people do it. I assume that initial conference or event, was it a little outside of your comfort zone at the time to go there? Yeah,
because I had no idea what I was getting into. But I was so happy that I went there. And then that became like a big thing that I love to join those kind of like a mastermind and then groups. Like, so over the course of the years, I joined YEC, which is a Young Entrepreneur Council. I don't know if you're familiar with it. So like that was a huge help too, because like everyone's like, you have that entrepreneur vibe. You don't normally get that from like a lot of other people, and then you get that, and you're so motivated, and like you learn from all these other people, and they're so eager to help other entrepreneurs and other companies, which is like I think people might think that it's not the case, but I've noticed that it's like everyone who's very successful, who made it, like they tend to really love to help others to get there too. So like I'm always in look for that. Like, and then like now I'm in a Forbes agency council. I was debating between that versus just business council, but like I just wanted to see what that portion is. So like I just recently joined that to see that mastermind group is also beneficial.
Yeah, I love it. That sounds awesome. So tell me about looking back, the secrets, if you will, to scaling? Because starting a company, don't take this the wrong way, is super easy. Anyone can technically do it. Growing a company, on the other hand, and scaling it is a completely different conversation. You've gotten to the point where you're 10 years in. You've obviously had some level of success, and you are scaling the company. What did you two do that enabled you to hire people, develop the company, grow it, scale it, and not have to be so in the weeds of running it? Because that's what I find really separates companies from true success, rather than just, really just owning a job at some point. So what was it for you, or what is it for you that continues to be that secret sauce, so to speak?
I think something it's obvious and easy thing is that you're constantly tracking, like tracking a lot of things, like just like, numbers, pretty much like the data, because we're both very number people, because we're both have a technical background. So like visualizing with the numbers makes sense. So like I think that was kind of secret to me, because like some of the things that I'll have like a vision to, like I want to get like X many employees and X many clients and X many projects, and literally my co-founder will take that and then put it into a spreadsheet and like, this is what's going to take to get there. And it kind of puts me back to, I was like, okay, so now we can plan it out based on this thing. So that happened a lot. So we'll have like a quarterly check-in, we have constant check-ins internally, but then they're like the main things, like the goals and like the target and things like that. We do quarterly and annually, and we always review those numbers and make sure that what number we project it, and then like just kind of matching up to like, so we're very, I guess it's like, it can be boring, but it's very necessary for me. That really helped me, and probably him too, to kind of like making sure that we're on track for our growth, and then scaling up, and like, or sometimes we have to kind of scale down in different departments, like, like the marketing type of budgets, like, or like employees, like we have to switch to contractors, and then how many should we make sure that to make the good balance, like those kind of things make sense a lot. So what worked for us was kind of making sure to put it into the number to visualize it on our end.
I love that you said that, because I always say boring businesses are the most successful businesses. Like if you take your goals and you break them down into really boring plans that you can actually take action on, then you can do something with it. Whereas I think a lot of, especially smaller and newer businesses, tend to just say, they put a revenue goal or a new client goal out there, and they don't really spend the time to engineer it, discuss it, design it. And it's basically a glorified vision board at that point. Like, it's not really going to help you.
Right.
So yeah, that was a super boring tip, but those are my favorites. So you get bonus points for that one. So then, okay, I love this, but then looking back at sort of where you started the company and what you're doing now, has your offering or your core products and service changed and morphed over the years, or did you guys just nail it right out of the gate and you're still doing the same thing?
No, it's funny that it changed and we went back, and we changed and went back. So now it's kind of like a mixture. So our initial, because we were project-based, so we'll build the websites and then we'll make their platform. So like whatever needs to host their website and platform was what we're focused on. But initially we're like so much more on project-based. So like we'll just ship it, train it, and leave, ship it, train it, and leave, that type of model. But over the course of years, we actually morphed into a lot more maintenance. Like we're building features for the websites. Like we'll have the client for like 8 years or something like that, and they'll constantly ask to build the new things and redesign the website and things like that. So it kind of morphed into that. And then we were at one point, we wanted to see if we should target the smaller business, it's like not enterprise level clients. So we did that for a little bit, but then we realized that the way we offer and the way we build things is more catered to the enterprise clients, enterprise companies, because like they have different processes, and they're like, so, and also some of the smaller companies also don't necessarily care that much about what big companies care and different things. So we went back to the enterprise, and now we're trying to do, we're not saying no to like a very small business to medium-sized business companies, but we're still targeting the large client, but we're shifting our focus back to the large client. So like it kind of went back and forth. So like I don't know if you nailed it from the beginning. It's more like depending on how we feel like it. And also we always try to evaluate to see if we need to do more things. So like we had different CMS offerings, but then now we're kind of niching down to WordPress, for example. So like there are different decisions we made along the way, but an overall arching the client or the goal didn't change that much. It's just that some of the tools and some of the smaller scale offering has changed a little bit.
That makes sense, and I think that's natural. As far as the service and how you do it, though, going from project-based to more ongoing and maintenance, was that a financial decision? Like, did you find it was harder to continue to get new clients in the beginning to make it financially viable, and that's why you said, okay, let's phase in a little bit more of a maintenance and subscription model, if you will, or was it something different?
I think it was a little more natural because when we realized that when we ship out a project, sometimes they want us to be there to fix and then put more features there. So like it just kind of naturally went that way. And then we also realized that was more profitable than just shipping the projects. So I was like, it kind of happened. I would say like kind of 50-50 in a way. It was kind of, initially we just went to it, morphed into it, and realized like, oh, this works better, so we'll just focus more on that. So it just went that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. I love it. Well, this is fascinating. I love the story. I love hearing where you've been and the tweaks and changes you made along the way. Looking forward, though, I don't know how far you're looking out at this point, but where do you want to take the company next? What's the next 5 or 10 years of growth look like for you? Or is that too far out?
It's not far out. We always kind of try to project 1 year, 3 year, 5 year to 10-year goal. I mean, we do kind of talk about like if the opportunity comes, we can look into see if we want to be in a selling position. Only because we talked about that only because not to really sell, but at that point, you have to kind of think about the way to position your company in a different way so that you can decide if you want to do it that way. And then also that kind of gives you more of a company structure, I feel like, just getting all this operation and structures with. So that's what we want to prepare for. So that's like the long-term goal. But to get there, we'll have like some revenue goals, some like employee goals, and then like all different other goals that we'll just kind of break it down based on like tenure, what we want to do. So we'll just kind of break it down to 1, 3, 5 year goals.
Again, super boring, but exactly what needs to happen.
Yes.
I love it. Meeky, thank you so much for being precisely boring on this show, because I just wish more people were like that. Business would be so much easier. So thank you for that. Thank you for coming too.
All right. Thanks for having me, Brendan.
Where can people go if they want to learn more about you, what your company does, and potentially work with you? What's the best place to find you?
Our website, ndevr.io, and there's a contact form. Or if you want to hit me on the LinkedIn, because my name is pretty unique, MEekyHwang. That's me. So you can reach out on LinkedIn as well.
I love it. All of that will be down below in the show notes or description, wherever you're watching. I'm curious, is it Ndevr.io? Tell me about the name real quick before we wrap up, because it's interesting spelling at least.
Yeah, so we're developers. So like it's like a endeavor, but we also endeavor. It's our new endeavor to get there. So it was kind of like having that as our goal to kind of make it like that.
So it's like a little nerdy, but also pretty cool and tech. I like it. I like the name.
Thank you.
That's awesome. All right, wherever you're watching and listening, you heard me before. It's down below. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you on the next episode of Harmonious at Lunch tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you there.
Another episode of Harmonious at Lunch in the books. I hope this episode made you think and you grabbed some actionable ideas to propel your business. Don't forget to like, comment your takeaways, and subscribe wherever you're listening so we can help more entrepreneurs just like you achieve harmony in your life and business. For cutting-edge tools that bring clarity to your people and processes, check out humanoff.com to download our app today.